Hey guys, how you doing? So today we are going to a special event, and I'm gonna be recording everything for you guys. Thanks, man. What is this thing? We gotta wait for this. So it looks like a bus takes you over there. This is cool stuff. Guys, check it out. These are all the companies who have worked on these rides. So I'm going to show you guys some of the company names here and the logos that they have. You guys can see that. Carbon Black, they did the dark ride screens, and then Projection from Christie. Oceaneering did the vehicles. So it looks like everybody had their own task to do. Black Box got the speakers. We just came from over there too. They had like some haptic system set up over there. It's really cool. Dark ride content, the juice. Amplifiers, haptics.
Levels of creative freedom that are not possible with a fixed track.
Pretty cool.
The trackless feature of this vehicle allows.
So yeah, they're just making theme rides all together. Imagine having a team like this to make something that you would want. Professionals. It looks like the test area.
The built-in motion base has 3 directions of freedom.
Looks like they just went off.
Plus or minus. Roll.
Where are they? There they are.
And a 360-degree continuous yaw.
Oh, pretty cool.
The possibilities are enough to make your head spin. Let's see what she can do.
Whoa. Wow, that's pretty cool.
The truss structures, power distribution, and lighting systems were designed and specified by Lightswitch and sourced by 4Wall Entertainment.
Wow, look at all the technology down there.
Lightswitch is a lighting and visual design practice filled with talented and passionate designers located in studios across the globe.
Look at all that stuff in there.
The lighting allows their clients to go from scary dark alleyways to bright and fun environments. Lightswitch. I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were so sensitive. This flawless example of animatronic perfection?
Yes, that's more like it.
Great. Mr. Perfect here was custom built by
Mr. Perfect
Productions and operates on pneumatic actuators. It has 28 functions that allow it to make lifelike movements and gestures. Motion control data and programming for this figure is all implemented using a Waggle Controls Pro Commander and programmed using the Waggle ShowForge software environment. These development tools allow the figure to be animated using several input methods such as game controllers, joysticks, optical tracking sensors, and more. To keep the figure operating at its best, the Pro Commander also monitors the integrated motors and actuators and passes status information back to the motion control subsystem rack.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
If you look up, you'll see 2 Christie Griffin 4K.
Remember that movie J5?
pure laser projectors.
What was it?
Each
Circuit?
of these cutting-edge projectors
Short circuit.
are able to illuminate any surface with 50,000
It reminds me of-
lumens while delivering rich, bright colors for large venue applications. In addition to ultra.
Looks like they're going to another theme there.
Estimates suggest there are around 3 million alligators in Florida.
What is the average humidity in Orlando? Yes.
The average humidity in Orlando, Florida, typically ranges from around 70% to 90% throughout the year.
Good afternoon, only just. We shall make a start. So if you all want to come closer to me, There's no need to be that far away. Excellent.
Not too many people here.
Great. So yeah, good afternoon. My name is Ryan. I'm the head of sales for Holopot, based out of Berlin. Pleasure to be here at the ATL with Alcott McBride and other partners like Christy, showing you some of the technologies for the future of experiential venues and rides and attractions. So, who are Holopot? You may or may not know us, but essentially we're a company that makes loudspeakers, as you see behind me, the X1 system. This is the world's most advanced loudspeaker system. It's designed for professional applications, for music, for entertainment purposes, those kind of things. And we made it to really solve a challenge. And the challenge has always been that with traditional loudspeakers, sound behaves in difficult ways. It doesn't behave like light. It's very difficult to focus sound. It's very difficult to control it. And we try to do that by using revolutionary software algorithms combined with this hardware behind me to be able to control it in ways you've never heard done before. Now, our vision is to give you this unparalleled and unprecedented level of control purely through software. And we do that through an advanced set of software that's proprietary to Holopot, which lets you model your space in 3D and decide where you would like the sound, how you would like that sound to behave in that space. This is particularly powerful in difficult acoustic spaces, and I don't think it should be lost on anybody. Today we're in a warehouse. This is the worst physical location you could ever choose to do a loudspeaker demo, and no competitor of ours would ever willingly do that. However, we regularly do, because we want to prove how accurate our control is and how we can overcome many of the acoustic challenges that you all face in working in a real-world environment. Now, one such real-world environment that proves this is the MCIC Mosque in Egypt. Now, this is not a dark ride, obviously, but it does have a lot of similarities. It's an incredibly large and incredibly reverberant space. It's about 100,000 square feet. The ceiling height, well, I'm not European anymore, but the ceiling height for these metric is about 30 meters or 60 meters in the dome, which gives it about a 7-second reverberation time. That means if you were to clap there, you'd hear that for 7 whole seconds afterwards. That's pretty terrible. But I think most of you are familiar in spaces where dart rides are used, that's also a big challenge. They're typically made of concrete, they're typically very utilitarian spaces, utilitarian surfaces. Now, what's unique about the approach here with Holopot is we were able to reduce the number of loudspeakers significantly to only 9 locations in the entire venue, all located at the front or from the front, and then reinforced behind these pillars as you see. And we were able to elevate the speech intelligibility, which means how well understood the speech can be from the imam, to a 0.61 on the STI scale. Now that's a very technical scale, it's a very difficult thing to do, but it's a huge improvement in the ability to understand what is happening in such a difficult acoustic space. But not only do we do things with speech, we also work in the creative environment, and more we're seeing demands for customers who want to integrate seamlessly vision, projection or LED and audio into many environments. Now this presents a lot of challenges when it comes down to hiding the loudspeakers or not seeing and not disturbing the aesthetics of that presentation, of that space, of that artwork. And Holopot gives you the unique capability of being able to displace the loudspeakers or position them behind projection surfaces or behind perforated panels or LEDs to be able to conceal them and still maintain exceptional sound quality. One such example of this, a recent project we just commissioned in London, is a 360 projection space called Lightroom, directly below the Facebook headquarters in King's Cross. And actually the first show is by an artist called David Hockney, a painter. And as you can see in the image behind me, that is a real image, and there's the full projection on all surfaces. The loudspeakers are actually to the right hand side in the middle of that tree. You cannot see them at all. Here you go, here's a little cutaway view. Now what we also do there is we are allowing our technology, we can create multiple audio channels, audio beams, audio content sources. In this example, we're able to create an area for the voice, particularly so that the story is able to be told, the narration is being able to be told. But on top of that, we enhance the soundscape by adding reflections off the projection surfaces to give you an immersive sound environment, a lot more like in a cinema environment, for example. But again, you do not see any loudspeakers, we do not add any additional loudspeakers, we embrace the architecture of the space, and we reflect the sound energy off the hard surfaces.
That's cool.
But no sound system would be, worth its weight in salt if it also couldn't perform exceptionally with stereo or with music. And of course, we've done a lot of work in improving how sound systems can perform in that environment. Recently, we upgraded the sound system at the Beacon Theatre on Broadway in New York City, which is a venue that sees lots and lots of artists come through all year. And the particular challenge that they had at the Beacon was related to reflections or slapback echoes from the balcony fronts, which created a double sort of echo to the artist. So if you were a comedian, you were hearing your voice come back to you, really, really upset their timing. So what we were able to do is, again, using our software and our 3D modeling, remove that effect by directing the sound energy towards the audience and not towards the hard reflective surfaces that cause the issues. Here you can see a layout of the balcony area and the arrays. Now, one final thing to talk about in terms of projects. You may have heard of this venue. This is the MSG Sphere in Las Vegas. This is the world's largest immersive arena, about 18,000 seats, and I believe tickets are already selling out for October time this year. The first act that will play here will be U2 doing their first immersive show. Holopod is proud to be the exclusive audio provider to this space, where it is the world's largest sound system ever. Over 160,000 individual loudspeaker drivers and channels, all working harmoniously together to deliver sound to 18,000 people in a full immersive way and with the most uniformity across every single seat as well. Now to do this, as I said before, we combine software and hardware, so just a little bit about what you're hearing. This is the X1. It comes in two different variants, and as you can see over here, you can actually look through the grill and actually see how it works. The two variants, the MD96 and the MD80S. The top row we have here is the MD96, which has 96 mid and high frequency loudspeaker drivers. And then you have the MD80S below it, which has the addition of an 18-inch subwoofer as well, which essentially gives you full range sound all the way down to the low bass frequencies for performance use. It's fully scalable, so you can start with as few as 1 unit and scale pretty much infinitely up to hundreds of units in a single array, depending on the scale of your venue, the number in your audience. And everything is driven, as I said, by our intelligent software tools and UIs, which let you control this, as Kelly's going to do in a second, and show you some of the examples through our demo. So with that, I'm going to hand over to Kelly, who's going to run you through the demo. It's very interactive, so listen up and get engaged and listen to some of the things that the X1 can do.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ryan. Welcome, everyone. I'm going to give you a brief demonstration of some of the capabilities that we have with the Holopod X1 system. We're going to go through a couple different examples, some where we're listening to just this central array, which acts as a single unit, or we have these left, and right arrays as well. So one of the things that we can do with Holopod is we can design, in 3D space, we can design how we want our coverage patterns to exist. So we can have wide and large coverage patterns, which we call coverage zones, and we use what we call coverage beams. And this allows us to design both in the horizontal and in the vertical or the distance axis. You may be familiar with line array systems that allow you to optimize for on-axis directions, but when it comes into off-axis, you have no other control other than the opening angle of the box itself. The X1 system allows us to dynamically control how wide or narrow these beams are. So I'm going to give you an example first, listening to a little Jack Johnson that is covering the entirety of this area. You can walk around and get a feel for
I'm going to have to mute this copyright.
The signal is in the entirety of this space, and then we'll take a look at the exact same song in a narrow beam. And this is an example of how we can design around a room, how we can design with our software, where exactly our sound is going. You start playing it, and if you're outside of it, give it a beat, and then walk in and right around this area and walk right back out, and you'll be able to hear how we're able to create three-dimensional areas that define our coverage pattern. And we can talk a little bit more about how that becomes useful with an X1 design.
So right now he's sending the signal just to one part of the room. So now let's go into the signal, see if it's louder. Oh, it does get louder.
Shoebox and photographs with sepia tone love.
It gets a little louder in the middle, right? Yeah, see right now it's a little muffled. But as soon as you get to the middle of the room, it gets like really loud.
That we have is quite narrow. You can imagine how well this performs when you have a very acoustically challenging environment where maybe on the sides we have these large marble walls like we talked about the mosque. And in designing the coverage patterns, we can design both for where we want to cover but also the areas that we want to avoid. This becomes really important for speech intelligibility and low reverberation times with an array that doesn't change its position. You can build your arrays more customized to the shape and the distance of the zones that you're working with, but it's really important to note that all of this designing is done in our software, and we're able to accommodate different shapes of arrays for our applications as well. So I'm going to move into some more immersive capabilities. One of the things that we're able to do with this many drivers in the entire system is point and direct sound very finitely in what we call virtual sources. And you'll see these hard panels that are directed around the side. These are nothing special. This is MDF painted black. However, when we point a virtual source at these panels, we can actually bounce sound off of them. This is similar to what we were doing in Lightroom, where we were bouncing the sound, these virtual sources off the concrete to create the illusion of loudspeakers coming from these positions. They're used greatly for environmental effects, little Easter eggs. We'll take a look at a different use case later, but right now I'm going to play a track that's using these as well as the front speakers to create a little bit of a bed and then an immersive mix. And you'll be able to hear the reflections best if you stand kind of back in between these two posts. We're going to play that now and we can hear that.
Okay, let's go back there. Sounds like the music is coming from that thing right there. Pretty cool. There's another one over here. So the sound is bouncing off this. Pretty cool.
You can really imagine how creative you can get with just a single X1 system. And there's actually something to note that we just listened to. This is a single array. So we have 8 different boxes up here, but we're not using this box for one virtual source and this box for another virtual source. The entire set of 8 modules is acting as an entire array. And with our HoloPlot X1 system, what we can do with any given size of an array, whether it's a 2x2 like these ones, 4x2, or even a 1x1, is each array can have up to 12 simultaneous beams. And we can have 4 coverage beams, or we can have 8 of these virtual sources all acting together at the same time. So we are able to use a single loudspeaker system to have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5th channel of audio playing out of an entire system, but just from a single location.
So cool.
And I wanted to show you something else we can do with coverage beams before. We looked at a narrow one or quite a wide one, but they were just playing a single channel of audio. Now I'm going to have 3 separate coverage beams that are using 3 separate channels of audio, and they have actually 3 different languages. So you can imagine the use in a large auditorium where you might need real-time live translation without headphones. You can actually use an X1 system and segment off certain parts of the crowd for different languages and translations. And you'll hear these They end right below, or right in front of this column right here. So I'm going to have you walk back and forth in this area so you can experience those 3 different languages. I'm going to play that now.
很久很久以前，有一个大大的森林，里面住着许许多多的动物。在森林的最北面有一个大大的。
Para Hudson Bay, en Canadá, para pasar los meses más cálidos.
Whoa.
En el Ártico también.
So I'm on this side and they're speaking Spanish. I'm gonna go to the middle.
Este lugar para tener a sus crías. Pasan ahí los meses.
他就去问熊妈
Now
妈
they're speaking Korean. Wow, that is so cool.
Association with worlds beyond our own. Following the stars.
And then on this side is English. That is so cool. That is so cool.
Under the fields, drifting in the same currents that carry.
So it's pretty impressive what we can do with these coverage beams. And again, that's 3 different coverage beams with 3 different channels coming from one array system. So now I'm going to combine this a bit with our left and right systems, where we have, again, these 3 coverage beams that are going to have different content for a bit of like a jungle scape. And then we're going to show off how we can just add in our right and left system as a larger coverage area for maybe like a bed of sound. So this is maybe a better example of how it might be an applicable system for some sort of immersive setup. Let me take a look at that.
All right, let's listen to the sound on different sides of the room. Let's see if we hear a difference on the other side. Very cool.
So again, you can see how we can use additional sets of arrays to add additional sets of channels and also spatialization. Because for the coverage beams that are coming from this array, you're going to localize the sound to this array. So it's good to have additional sets to pull apart and mix a bit. So there's one more thing that I want to show you about the virtual sources. So before we use the virtual sources to pinpoint onto these reflective surfaces to create additional point source type speakers, what you can also do is point them in free space and give an audience the chance to stumble across kind of an audio moment or an audio Easter egg. And this is really useful in addition to the reflections in environments that are using immersive technologies for immersive storytelling, where you might have an audience that needs a large coverage bed of sound, but also having these triggerable, trackable moments that the guests who have autonomy can stumble upon and hear this, something that might match the visuals that are happening on the wall. So you'll see that there are little crosses here on the floor. At each one of these crosses is going to be a different sound, so you can walk back and forth and hear all the different sounds that we're able to pinpoint down to the size, right about the size of your head. So I'm going to go ahead and play this now.
Whoa. Whoa, that's pretty creepy. It's a bird? That's so cool. Oh yeah. That's neat, huh? Stop here. Bird. And the next one. I hope these pick it up. That is so cool.
So that's the power of the virtual sources and how well we can pinpoint and have accuracy over a very finite location in space with a single array and a single sound system. Again, all 8 of those channels of audio were coming directly only from this array. We weren't using the right and we weren't using the left. However, we are going to switch into a little bit of a different mode where we're only going to use the left and right, and we're going to listen to a little bit of stereo listening and show off the power of the X1. So it's a full range, live music ready sound system, and you'll see the modules on the bottom are similar to the modules that we have up here. They've got 18-inch iPal subs in it, and so we're going to hear quite a bit of low end here. But something also to note is our ability to steer in both the vertical and horizontal allows us to open up the width of a single array and the width of the coverage beam, and when you combine that with a left-right system, that actually opens up your stereo field for a standard live PA type system, where often line arrays have great coverage, but they still get mixed down to dual mono. So with a holoplot system, you can have a very wide stereo image, even for people who are in front of the right array far in the back, who would normally only get the experience of the on-axis array. Now you get quite a great stereo image because we're able to steer and cover from both the left-right system. So we're going to step through 3 different tracks. We're going to start off with a little bit of Billie Eilish.
Yeah, that's definitely copyrighted.
Billie. Something else to note about that last set of songs is how crisp and clean and true the image is. And that's something you can take a look at the MD80S over here that has the grills off this, because we're using these 1.3-inch soft dome tweeters without any compression drivers used in the system at all. So we get a very true sound and a true texture for live applications, so it gets that really clean sound. So if you have any more questions, you can visit myself or my colleague Natalia or James Bobble or Miguel here in the back. Feel free to ask us any questions. We got tons and tons of answers for you, but thank you for coming by.
So this is the haptics chair right here. They actually 3D printed this in TPU, and these are 3D printed too. But they had a show, they were watching Star Wars on there. It's pretty cool stuff. Looks like they have a little ride here or something. Not too sure what that is. But it's pretty cool. So this ride right here is gonna tell us about how all this stuff works.
My name is Susie. Now that you're strapped in and unable to escape, I'd like to talk about your car's extended warranty. Only kidding. You're about to get a behind-the-scenes tour of the dark ride experience here at the Attractions Technology Lab. It takes a lot of amazing technology to build an attraction, and this is the best place to see how it all works. Ready? Let's go. Right now, you're cruising along in Oceaneering's Revolution ride vehicle. This is a state-of-the-art trackless system with a top speed of 10 feet per second. It uses omnidirectional automated guided vehicle technologies to deliver levels of creative freedom that are not possible with a fixed track.
Whoa.
The trackless feature of this vehicle allows designers to overlap the vehicle's path with itself and other vehicles during the ride experience, and even dynamically change the route the vehicle takes. For example, this crab maneuver allows the vehicle to suddenly drive in any direction, including sideways. This cusp maneuver rapidly reverses the vehicle's direction.
Whoa.
The built-in motion base has 3 directions of freedom, plus or minus 7.5 degrees of pitch. Roll. degree continuous yaw.
Whoa.
The possibilities are enough to make your head
Wow,
spin.
that's pretty cool.
Let's see what she can do.
Whoa. Oh shit. Whoa. Whoa.
The truss structures, power distribution, and lighting systems were designed and specified by Lightswitch and sourced by 4Wall Entertainment. Lightswitch is a lighting and visual design practice filled with talented and passionate designers located in studios across the globe. Enhancing projects through lighting allows their clients to go from scary dark alleyways to bright and fun environments. Lightswitch collaborates with clients to deliver the most from every project, driving focus and creativity to its highest potential. With work from fine art to rock concerts, permanent installs to touring exhibits, Lightswitch has the experience. 4Wall Entertainment serves every facet of the entertainment industry, from equipment rentals and production services to used and new sales. In addition, 4Wall Systems and Design Team has designed, fabricated, and integrated sustainable lighting control and AV systems for event and theater spaces, sports arenas and stadiums, and some of the most recognizable theme parks, lands, and attractions globally in the themed entertainment industry. The first scene of our dark ride utilizes a Christie Griffin 4K 35 RGB pure laser projector with carbon black screen technology to provide the backdrop for the Rad 2 animated figure. The content in this scene was expertly crafted by Good Theory Studios, like 2 days before the show. Maybe next time we'll give them more notice. The rusty bucket of bolts next to the screen
Wait,
was...
what? I'm right here, you know. I can hear you.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize you were so sensitive. This flawless example of animatronic perfection?
Yes, that's more like it.
Great. Mr. Perfect here was custom built by Garner Holt Productions and operates on pneumatic actuators. It has 28 functions that allow it to make lifelike movements and gestures. Motion control data and programming for this figure is all implemented using a Waggle Controls Pro Commander and programmed using the Waggle ShowForge software environment. These development tools allow the figure to be animated using several input methods such as game controllers, joysticks, optical tracking sensors, and more. To keep the figure operating at its best, the Pro Commander also monitors the integrated motors and actuators and passes status information back to the motion control subsystem rack. If you look up, you'll see two Christie Griffin 4K 50 RGB pure laser projectors. Each of these cutting-edge projectors are able to illuminate any surface with 50,000 lumens while delivering rich, bright colors for large venue applications. In addition to ultra-quiet operation and long life, RGB pure laser projection offers Rec 2020 performance, which results in the most expansive color gamut available today, producing stunning color depth and image quality. In this ride experience, we're blending two of these Griffin projectors to achieve amazing resolution and contrast on the big screen. Speaking of the big screen, the 30-foot by 10-foot curved screen in front of you was custom manufactured for Christie by Carbon Black. The incredible amount of contrast you see can only be achieved by this combination of RGB laser projection and carbon black screen technology. The content itself was provided by the Juice from their extensive library of films catered for attraction, entertainment, leisure, and retail projects. Playback is handled by an Alcorn McBride Bin Lupex equipped with 4KU uncompressed video playback modules. This platform provides high-resolution, 422, 10-bit, Rec 2020 content for the main show and uses SyncCore technology to ensure perfect synchronization with the wayside audio, onboard audio, lighting, and ride systems. The video outputs are delivered directly to the projectors using 12G SDI without the need for extenders or adapters. To enhance the audio experience in this scene, Wayside audio is sourced from Black Box Reality's C12 speakers and an MDS-30 motor-driven subwoofer. projector warping, blending, and alignment are all managed by Christie's Mystique software package. This application uses a camera combined with software algorithms to automatically align and calibrate the output of the projectors at the click of a button with repeatable accuracy, saving hours of painstaking manual adjustments. This ensures a seamless high-quality projection even when multiple projectors are being used to fill unusual surfaces such as this curved screen. On your journey through this meticulously crafted experience, you might not have noticed the masking drapes that define the dark ride space. That's good, because you're not supposed to. But since you have, those drapes and the rigging required to hang them were provided by Inter-America Stage, better known as IA Stage, a local company with global reach. With the mantra safety above all else, IA Stage is known for safely rigging tons of monstrous systems as well as bespoke applications for museums, science centers, and hundreds of projector installations in dark rides and immersive environments. As you can tell by my incredibly pleasant voice, this vehicle is equipped with an advanced onboard audio system that is sourced by an Alcorn McBride ride player and ride amp. The ride amp is connected to the ride player using clean all-digital Dante or AES-67 network audio, and multiple ride amp units can be added as needed to drive onboard speakers, subwoofers, transducers, or haptics. The equipment racks you see in front of you are the technology backbone that drives the entire ride experience. The audio-video rack was integrated and tuned by Theme Park AV and handles all synchronous wayside audio playback from a bin loop X. All audio signal routing and processing is managed by a QSC QSys Core Nano. A PowerSoft Auto-Canale amplifier is driving the black box C12 speakers throughout the ride. The Alcorn McBride V-Page and VCOM units are providing all paging and intercom functionality for the attraction. The projection rack contains the bin loop X that's sourcing the uncompressed video content of the main screen, as well as the backdrop screen for the RAD2 figure. This system is also equipped with Christie's Mystique software to manage the projector warping, blending, and alignment. The lighting rack is equipped with a Grand MA lighting controller, programmed by light switch to control the lighting fixtures throughout the entire ride. The motion control rack contains the Waggle Pro Commander that's running the animation programming for the Garner Holt figure. This system is also running the ShowForge software that is used to program and monitor the Pro Commander. To bring it all together, the show control rack is responsible for linking to the ride control system and synchronizing all of these racks as well as the onboard audio system. This architecture works by sharing a common clock over the attraction network using standards like PTP or NTP and SynC core technology. By leveraging Alcorn McBride's WindScript Live 6 show control software, this system can then use this clock to precisely schedule all 6 of these systems to play their show control timelines in perfect sync. Even though these systems are built and programmed by different vendors, this architecture ensures that they operate synchronously to create an amazing guest experience. Zero Dark Ride. If you want to learn more, representatives from all ATL partner companies are available to answer your questions. Enjoy the rest of your day here at the attraction.